So we'll chant Om 3 times, followed by the opening shlokas. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Welcome back, everyone. So we I know, like today being Navratri, beginning of Navratri, we have lesser attendance. Hopefully they'll be able to catch up. So we were covering in Gita, we are covering the portion where in the last session, what we saw was a definition for the yoga was given. Okay, well, what was the definition for yoga was yoga karmasu kaukshadam. So that means in actually verse number 50, it said that performing action in a efficient manner where the karma results, meaning the results of the karma or karma phala is not attached to us, we are not subject to karma phala, that is yoga. Okay, so that and now we also heard that in verse 49 we said that durena hevaran karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya buddha sharanam anvicha krupana phala hetavaha. In this shloka, what is said is karma will lead into a different path, karma yoga will lead into different path. So any wise person must perform karma yoga, not karma. Why? Because karma is going to take us to bondage. Karma yoga is going to help us release the bondage. And then after seeing that, we also said that here karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam tyaktva manishinaha janma bandha vimuktaha padam gachanti anamyam. So here as a smart person, we should focus on karma yoga, and so that way we can padam gachanti, we can reach to the supreme pada or moksha. And how do we get to that one was described in the next shloka, yada te moha kalyam buddhir vyatishyati tada gantasi nirvedam shrotavyasa cha. So what happens is that right now our mind is somewhat impure because of moha. Moha is delusion. Delusion is delusion that I am human body, I'm this body. and I like certain things, I dislike certain things. These are mine, those are not mine, these people are my people, those people are enemies. Like that we have a lot of delusions because of that. Whatever we are listening, even the Shruti, meaning even the knowledge that we are getting, it is going through all these impurities, and as a result, we are not getting the right knowledge. Okay, but however, when that the dirt of this, the dirt of delusion goes away, that is when we are going to get proper knowledge. Okay, so then in 53 we said Shruti Viprapatipanna te yada sthasati nischala samadhavata jala buddhir tada yogam avapsasi. So when we get rid of all of these distractions in the mind, then we will attain the yoga right away. So here in this set of verses, what happened is that Bhagwan has set up a path for Arjuna about how to get to moksha. And how to get to moksha? Through Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga would eventually lead to moksha. So Karma Yoga is a prerequisite. And now in the last sloka, especially like 53, what he said is that in the second line it said Samadhavat achala buddhihi tada yogam avapsasi. So samadhi means it is like achala, samadhi, achala. Achala means immovable, okay? Firm like a rock. In fact, a lot of mountains, especially in India, have are called achalams. So, like, so for example, especially in I'm like none of you are from Andhra, so I cannot really you may or may not be able to uh, get to the, I mean like relate to it, but Bhadrachalam, okay, is a mountain where Rama's abode is there, Lord Sri Rama's abode. Bhadra plus Achalam, okay, so that mountain is called as Achalam. So Bhadra Achalam is Bhadra Achalam. Simha Achalam, okay, Simha is of course lion. Achalam means the mountain, that is Simhachalam. That is where Narasimha Swami is there. So every mountain is called, so the mountains are called Achalam because they are immovable. So now we get to a point, I mean like we need to get to a point where our mind is perfectly balanced in Bhagwan and it is unshakable and immovable like a rock. Okay, so this stiratva means firmness must be there. Okay, and once we get there, then yoga is possible. Yoga here means what? Yoga is yoga means union with Bhagwan is possible. That is what Bhagwan is telling Arjuna. So now when that is said, okay, now the question is that there is a question for Arjuna. What is it? How do I get to that state? Why do I want to get to that state? Yeah, actually, like he already got a little bit about how do I get to that state. But what is the expression of that state? How do I know someone who got to that state? That is his question. Okay, so he is going to ask a question now in verse number 54 to Lord Sri Krishna. Okay, so we'll break down the words and then Sharda will read them aloud. Okay, chant the shloka and we will follow. Okay, so Arjuna Vacha. Okay, this is verse number 54. Sthita Prajnasya. Okay, so Sthita Prajnasya becomes Sthita Prajnasya. Ka Bhasha Samadhi Sthaha. Okay, Asya. Okay, Keshava. So it becomes Samadhisthasya Keshava. Sthita Dhihi. Dhihi means intellect. Okay, Sthita Dhihi Kim Prabhasheta Kim Asita Vrajeta Kim. So you see this Kim multiple times. So Please don't get confused that it is not a Korean Kim. It is Kim means what. Okay, what, how. Okay, so uh, uh, so Sharda, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll try my best. Thanks. Arjuna Vacha
Arjuna Uvacha
Tita Prajnasa Ka Bhasha
Sthita Prajnasya Ka Bhasha
Samadhistha Samadhisthasya Keshava
Samadhistasya Keshava
Stita Dihi Kim Prabhasheta
Hitadhi Kim Prabhasheta
Kim Asita Vrajate Kim.
Kimasita Vrajeta Kim. So here the question is of Arjuna is simple. So we said the one who is firmly established, that's what where Lord Krishna is saying, right? So it is firmly established. Sthita means firmly established. That is Sthita. Prajna means efficiency. What is efficiency? We said prajna means efficiency, we said, right? Efficiency is what is it got to do with anything is in the previous 2, 3, 4 slokas ago, we defined yoga as yoga karmasu kaushalam. One who is able to perform yoga, one who is able to perform karma yoga efficiently is yogi, right? Now, efficiency in performance means what? It is a skill. So, sthita prajna is that skill. So, sthita prajna means he's talking about someone who is able to efficiently perform this karma yoga and as a result efficiently be absorbed in the samadhi. That is sthita prajna. Okay, so this means Sthita Prajna, who is efficiently performing Karma Yoga and then performing to get to this point, that means that Shravana is done, Manana is done, Nididhyasana is also being done. So all of them are done like very well, and they are, once they are firmly established there, means they are successful and they are already become Jnani. So Sthita Prajna, whenever you hear the word Sthita Prajna, you can also understand it as Jnani. Jnani means one who is a Jivan Mukta. So Sthita Prajna is same as Jnani, is same as Jivan Mukta, is same as Yogi. Okay. So you will see, and same as Bhakta. Okay. So you will see that all these terms being used interchangeably throughout Gita. Okay. So here the word in chapter 2 is Sthita Prajna for this section. Okay. So the question Sthita Prajna, Ka Bhasha? Ka Bhasha means how does he speak? Okay, I mean, sorry, not ka bhasha. Okay, describe. Okay, who is this? Describe this sthita prajna. Sthita prajna ka bhasha means describe this sthita prajna. Samadhisthasya keshava. Okay, samadhi. So one who is sthasya. Sthasya means thaha means one who is established. Established in samadhi. So samadhisthasya means one who is established in this samadhi. Okay, such a Sthita Prajna. Who is this? Okay. Sthitadihi kim prabhasheta. So this Sthitadihi, Sthita again we said firmly. Dihi means intellect. Okay. One who has firm intellect. Firm intellect means what? Firm intellect means his intellect is saying that I am Brahman and he is firm in that knowledge. Okay. So that is again Jnani. The same as Sthita. So
Just a
Sthita,
clarifying question.
sure, go ahead.
So, samadhi in this context, what does it stand for? What does it mean? Maybe you explained earlier, but I wasn't there.
Sure. Samadhi generally in our day-to-day usage, the word samadhi means someone is meditating and they're in deep meditation, right? But samadhi has nothing to do with meditation in reality. Okay. So what happens is now we are interacting with the world. Okay. So all of us in this session are interacting with the world. Someone is speaking, someone else is listening. Okay. This is what external interaction that is going on with all our five senses of perception and probably some senses of some organs of action also. Okay, so that is both mixture of karmendriyas and jnanendriyas are being used. Okay, so this is an external world. Now you shut down this. Okay, so when you shut down this, what happens is that now let us say you're sitting in your chair in your home quietly. Of course, maybe your eyes are seeing at something. It doesn't matter, but like you're not really paying attention to what you're seeing. Okay. And now what happens? You are in a deep thought. Either in a deep thought or multiple thoughts. So what happened is that in this particular situation, the external senses of organs, the jnanendriyas or karmendriyas are shut down. Okay, if you close your eyes too, maybe. Okay. However, the internal indriyas, which is mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, all of them are active. Okay, active means like, okay, so what do I need to do? Okay, so I just came back from Portugal, right? Okay, so I just came back from Portugal. Oh, that was so beautiful. I really liked Portugal. I also liked Spain. But you know what? Like in this trip, we did not cover Italy that well. Okay, so I had to probably plan for Italy. Okay, what would be the best time to go to Italy? So now what is happening is that even though the external senses, right? These karmendriyas and jnanendriyas are shut down. Internally, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara are also working. Okay, now you shut down those. Okay, so if you are able to shut down, okay, both internal and external indriyas, and like you have a single thought that you are Brahman, okay, that is when you are in samadhi. Okay? And in that samadhi, okay, you are noticing Brahman. I mean, like you are becoming one with Brahman. Okay? Now, because for many of us, for 99% of us, this kind of shutting down the internal indriyas, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, is not possible naturally. What we tend to do is that we try to do it in as an exercise. Okay? When we do that as an exercise, what we call it as a practice of meditation. Okay. And in practice of meditation, we could potentially attain samadhi. Okay. But as Puja Gurudev says, Puja Guruji says, meditation is not a verb, rather it is a noun. So it is not something of a doing, it is something of a being. Okay. Because of that, because we cannot do that, we are trying to do actually like whatever we call as guided meditation, etc. On a day-to-day basis. The right term is guided contemplation. Okay, because that is not a something that we do. Okay, running is something that we do. Okay, eating is something that we do. Exercising is something that we do. Meditation is not something that we do, but we are in that state. Okay. Now, see, like what happens is that when you start learning bicycle, right? How do we learn? We have training wheels, and then maybe like training, even after training wheels are removed, our bicycling teacher, that is usually like our older brother or sister or uncle or aunt, who is teaching us, what do they say? look at in the center of that rod. Okay, you have to look only at the center of rod. Only then you can maintain the balance. Otherwise, you will fall down. Right? So on day 1, day 2, what you do is that you only look at the center of that bicycle rod to balance the bicycle. The moment you look this way, we fall down. Right? But then over a time, after practice, what happens? You need not look at the center. Okay, you can even ride the bicycle leaving your hands. Okay, sometimes you can also you can do wheelies also.
Yeah, yes.
All of those things can be done. But during the practice, though, you have to look at the center, right? So that exercise through which is called as guided. It's called a meditation exercise of meditation, and in there, like you experience samadhi. Okay. However, once you become expert, you don't have to go into the practice of sitting to do meditation. Okay, to be in samadhi. In fact, there was a question, it's a well-known question that someone asked Puja Gurudev from Chinmayanandaji, Gurudev, how long do you meditate every day? Okay, anyone knows what the answer was?
24 hours.
24. Right.
724.
Yes, he said, I do meditation 7/24, 24/7. So if you're talking to me, how are you meditating? So the idea is, even though my external indriyas, right, are working in this world, okay, the thoughts are coming and going, I am ensuring that I am staying above these day-to-day transactions, and my mind is always in one union with Bhagwan, that is Samadhi. Okay.
Excellent explanation. So just to recap, as I what understood, is that meditation is absolutely an important step, as you mentioned, in practicing when you're riding the bike. But then once you have been to, as you mentioned, in samadhi, you require to shut down all the indriyas, including the gnanendriya, karmendriya, and also the mind. I mean, chitta, buddhi, chitta,
Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara.
And those 4 things are impossible to shut down intentionally. It has to occur rather spontaneously. And that comes through the practice of meditation at first. And once you are into that, it happens. Now in samadhi, and essentially, as you mentioned, you can stay in samadhi 24/7, although you are transacting with this world. And Puja Gurudev were probably transacting with the world more than anybody else you might even think of. So yes, okay. Thank you so much.
No.
Because the samadhi also has a different connotation when it comes to yoga shastra, correct?
So Yoga Shastra and Vedanta are have two different approaches to samadhi. Okay, so in Yoga Shastra, okay, I know we are kind of taking a tangent here.
But it is important just to make sure that we focus on the Vedantic aspect and not the Yoga Shastra aspect, because you come across a lot of people who talk about that and you get confused often.
Yeah.
So please.
In Yoga Shastra, we have something called Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga starts with Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, then Dharana, then Dhyana and Samadhi. These are the 8 steps. Okay. So what they are doing is that essentially Samadhi is a state where the mind is negated. Okay. So the mind is quietened completely, not negated. The mind is completely quietened. So in Yoga Shastra, the definition of that is Chitta Vritti Nirodha is Samadhi. Okay. So that means removal of thoughts, absence of thoughts in the mind while being awake is samadhi in yoga. So how do they do? For purification perspective, they first say practice some yamas. Okay, step one is yamas, meaning like you need to follow certain disciplines, external disciplines. Okay, shuchi. Okay, so like ahimsa, etc. Right, so that means that being non-violent and being pure, etc. All of those which are external. Okay, so once you do those, then niyamas come into play. Okay, niyamas are like internal. Okay, internal purification. So I won't tell lies. Okay, so that is a niyama. Like that you do. So now after yama and niyama, third step what is they doing is asanas come into play. Asanas are what we call as poses, right? Yoga poses. And where you do upward dog, downward dog, all of these names are there, right, in English, which are like different asanas, different poses. And the purpose of these asanas in yoga shastra is for you to see, like all these yoga asanas are stretching exercises in a, if you really look into that, they are all meant to for you to be able to sit alertly, quietly for hours together in meditation. Okay, so that way, like your legs won't ache, you won't have back pain or anything like that. For that, yoga asanas are given. Of course, like what we call as yoga in modern Western culture is yoga means just the step 3 only. Okay, and it is only meant for physical health, not for union with God. But anyway, then pranayama is an exercise of breathing. So what is happening is that now that the body is quietened, you are trying to quieten the mind through breathing exercises, because mind and body are connected through breathing. Okay. Now, after pranayama is done, then pratyahara is controlling of mind, and dharana is focusing of mind, and dhyana is meditation in which samadhi is attained. This is their path. Okay. Now, when it comes to Vedanta, what we say is, for us to go through, we need to go Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. Okay. So in Shravana, you learn new things. Okay. Of course, prior to that, Karma Yoga has to be performed. Okay. With Karma Yoga, attain Chitta Shuddhi, then come to Guru and then learn Karma Shravana, and in which you learn new subject. Manana is analyzing what you already heard and reflecting on it. Okay. And then Nididhyasana is abiding in it. Okay. In Sanskritam, it is said that Shravana will remove abhavana. Abhavana means I don't know this. That is removed. Manana removes asambhavana. Asambhavana means how is this possible? How is Jiva and Brahma? How are Jiva and Brahma one and same? I don't think so. Okay? Yes. Those kind of asambhavanas, those kind of doubts are clarified in Manana through lot of logic, analysis, etc. Okay. Now comes Nididhyasana will remove Viparita Bhavana. Okay. What this Viparita Bhavana is, I know that I am not this body. I already know that I am Brahman. Okay. My teacher has clarified it thoroughly. Okay. Maybe you did not go to Vedanta course, but I went to the Vedanta course and my teacher clarified it very thoroughly. Okay. And yet, the moment I stop thinking about Vedanta, I start thinking that I'm this body. Okay. The moment I'm transacting in the world, I start thinking in terms of my profit and loss. What am I going to gain? What could I potentially lose? Okay. So what happened is, despite knowing what is truth, I'm still I'm holding on to this falsity. This is called as Viparita Bhavana.
Mhm.
That Viparita Bhavana has to be removed, and that is removed through Nididhyasana. Why? Because what happened is that from a meditation perspective, what happened is we have vasanas from the time the Srishti is created, okay, which is timeless. Okay, when was the Srishti created? Nobody knows. Okay, from the beginning of the creation, we are taking one form or another form. Okay, in every form, we think that we are that body. And those vasanas from countless births are coming with us. Now, their influence is so strong that this knowledge that I am Brahman is unable to, intellectual knowledge that I am the Brahman is unable to remove all of those. Whereas in meditation, what happens is that this thought that I am Brahman actually goes into our Karana Sharira, or our, if you're thinking about Panchakosha Viveka perspective, it is Anandamaya Kosha, and it is eradicating those old vasanas.
In the Gnanamaya Kosha, did you say?
Sorry?
Anandamaya Kosha, yes.
Anandamaya Kosha or Karana Sharira.
Anandamaya, yes.
Now, when this is happening, right? Okay. So how are we injecting this thought is, already I know that I am Brahman. Yes. The knowledge happened in Shravana portion. Manana portion already clarified that I am Brahman. Now in Nididhyasana, when I am not doing Aham Brahmasmi japa like that. No. Okay. That's what, like, meditation is not a japa. Rather, you are reaffirming yourself that you are Brahman. Okay. So, whereas in Yoga Marga, because your question is about Yoga versus Vedanta, right?
Yes, yes.
In the path of Yoga, they are trying to stop the thoughts. Okay. In the path of Vedanta, what we are trying to do is we are injecting a unified flow of thoughts. Okay. And that thought is Jiva Brahma Aikyata. That is, I am Brahman. Now that need not be like I am Brahman in Sanskrit is what? Aham Brahmasmi. So it is not like, oh, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, like that. No need like that. Okay. Aham Brahmasmi. Oh, Aham Brahmasmi, same as I am Atma Brahma. Yes. I am Atma Brahma is same as Aham Brahmasmi. Is same as Jagan Nitya, Jiva, Brahma, Aikyata. Okay, it is a similar thought. Okay. How about Asangoham, Punah, Satchidananda Rupoham. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
Satchidananda Rupo.
I mixed up. Asangoham, Punah.
Satchidananda Rupo.
Rupoham, Ahameva, Ahamavya.
Yes.
No. I am mixing. Sorry. Okay. Then there is another shloka, like as in Nirvana Shatkam, right? What was the shloka in Nirvana Shatkam?
Manobuddhi Hankar.
Manobuddhi Hankara Chittani Naham न च स्वरूपे न च ग्राणनेते चिदानंद रूपा शिवोहम. Okay. Or जाति नीति कुल गोत्र दूरगम नाम रूप गुण दोष वर्जितम देश काल विषयाति वर्जित ब्रह्म तत्वमसि भावयात्मन विवेक दूरम. So all of these shlokas are giving that, right? So you can think about that shloka or this shloka, that mantra, this mantra, anything, as long as they are going into the only one thought, that it is I am Brahman. Okay. So this constant flow of a thought that I am Brahman, that injecting into our mind with full knowledge and complete understanding of what we are saying, no questions, no doubts, no new knowledge. Okay. So this, when we are doing, what happens is eventually that thought, Aham Brahmasmi thought, also dies down. and mind will quieten down. And at that time, because the last thought you had was about Brahman before the mind becomes completely quiet. When the mind is completely quiet, you are one with Brahman, and that is Brahman and the Sthiti.
Yes.
Okay, so then you will come out of it. But then, like, the more often you get to that point, eventually you the bicycling example comes, right? So this is how the Vedanta goes. Okay, to that point of meditation. So this is the Veda. So that's why in Chinmaya Mission, etc., we don't teach Vedanta meditation, guided meditation to newcomers, because if you're talking about Tattvamasi, they need to know what Tattvamasi means. So Shravana and Manana should happen prior to teaching Nididhyasana. That is our approach. I mean, we may teach some simple meditation techniques as like mind calming techniques as visual meditation, japa, mantra, japa, etc. Those kind of things we may teach, but we don't normally teach unless they study a little bit of Vedanta.
Wow. Thank you very much. This was needed. I know some would digressing it from the original subject, but as a samadhi came up, I think that was appropriate. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Venkati,
Yes, Satya.
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, it's related with Raja Yoga, or this path of Raja Yoga is the same as this Ashtanga Yoga,
Yes.
or
Yes.
yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's Raj Yoga. Okay.
Okay. So, okay. So what are we studying? We are studying, coming back, right? Okay. Arjuna is asking, Sita Prajnasya ka bhasha, samadhistasya keshava. He's saying like, okay, so describe who's the Sita Prajna, who is in samadhi, who is fixed in samadhi. Okay. Sthitatihi kim prabhasheta. Meaning, Sthitatihi, the one who is established in this knowledge, kim, how, prabhasheta means how does he speak? Kim asita, how does he sit? Rajeta kim, how does he walk? So now the questions are like, how does he sit? How does he walk? How does he speak? Now, usually, when we go to a party or something like that, right? Maha tells me, my wife, okay, Venkat, stand erect. Okay, stand tall.
Yeah.
Don't slouch.
Yeah.
Put your shoulders back. Okay, and walk straight. Don't stand on your one, like don't bend one of your knees. Okay, so of course she's saying all of this out of love, right? So now, is that how the yogi is also talking, walking, etc.? Okay, so how does he walk? Means like, okay, so is he also instructed on walk straight? Okay, so at like maintain same pace, and other day like someone was there was a group picture being taken a few days ago, and a lot of people are in the group, right? About like 20 people or 30 people, and the photographer is taking his own time. And one person yelled out of frustration, "Come on, take the picture quickly. How long can I hold my breath?"
Or my smile for that matter.
Okay. He's holding breath simply because he's actually, what he meant actually, he was saying it in Telugu, but like actually what I meant is that he is pulling in his stomach.
Yeah, he's trying to tuck his tummy.
Okay, yeah, so that he looks nice, right? So that's another thing, right? When we are externally, like how do we behave, etc. Is that what the question is? Okay, so the question is not like I want to understand how does he speak, how does he sit, how does he walk, doesn't mean that don't take those as what's the term? Don't take the literal translation of those words. Rather, when he says, how does he speak? Kim prabhasheta. How does a jnani speak? Means whatever our speech, it is based upon what we think. Okay? Unless he speaks, we don't know what he thinks, what is inside. Okay? So that means what? The question is, how does he think or what is he inside? Okay? Now, similarly, how does he say it? Does he sit in a chair or in Padmasana? That's not the question, right? It is like, as the life is going by him, how does he remain? Or how he is going through the life. Okay? So, whether I sit or stand or sleep or run, the life is going on. Okay, whether I work or not, the life is going on. Whether I do something or I don't do something, the life is going on. So every time something happens, something changes, there is a reaction in me. How am I reacting to these external situations is Kim Asita. Okay, how is he remaining as he is going through his life is Kim Asita. Kim Prabhasheta is what is he inside. Okay, that is Kim Prabhasheta. Then Vrajeta Kim, that means how does he walk? Means how is he responding to external situations, etc. Right? So these are the questions that Arjuna is asking. Now, why Arjuna is asking is, now Arjuna is not Jnani. Okay. To become Jnani, there's a long way to go. Before that, he needs to do the fighting. Kurukshetra war. Okay. So, why is he asking this question? Is because Lord Krishna has painted a great picture of this a yogi who is in the samadhi, who is getting, who is about to get liberation in a very short time. Now, I want to be in that state. Okay, because I want to be in that state, I want to know how he is so that I can practice to be like him. Okay, so in Sanskritam there is a saying, Siddhasya Lakshanani Sadhakasya Sadhanani, meaning nature of a Siddha Purusha is the object of the sadhana, the practice of a seeker. Okay? Once I know the nature of a jnani, I can check my own progress against this jnani and I can start practicing those ideals of jnani so that I can become a jnani. Right? So here, the intent of Arjuna's question is that I want to become a jnani. So tell me how a jnani behaves, how a jnani lives. Okay, this is the question. Any questions around this before we go to the next sloka?
Say it again. Oh.
Any questions?
So about the walk, you explained as far as the meaning of the how does he talk and sits, and as far as the walk is concerned, what's the meaning behind that?
So when he sits, okay,
Yes.
sits means what is happening is that how is he going through his life, and walk means how is he responding to external situations.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the next verse is verse number, okay. In this, we'll break down the words, right? Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvan Partha. So Kaman Sarvan Partha becomes one word, Kaman Sarvan Partha. Manogatan Atmani eva Atmana. Atmani eva Atmana together becomes Atmanyevatmana. Okay. Atmani eva Atmana becomes Atmanyevatmana. Tushtaha Sthita Prajnaha Tada Uchyate. So Sthita Prajnaha Tada Uchyate. All these three words together becomes Sthita Prajnastadochate. Okay? Clear? Sharda ji?
Yeah. Okay, I'll try my best. If I make any mistakes, please excuse me.
Sorry?
I said if I make any mistakes, please excuse me.
Oh, no.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Prajahati yada kaman
Prajahati yada kaman
Sarvan partha manogatan
Sarvan Parthamanogatam
Atmanevatmana tushta
Atmanyevatmana Tushtaha
Tita pragnanta docate
Hita Prajnasta Dochate.
Docate.
Okay, thank you. So here, Sri Bhagavanuvacha means Lord is explaining the answer now. Okay, so from here on, for about 18 or 19 verses, Bhagavan is going to tell about the nature of a Sthita Prajna. So here what happened is that until now, see in chapter 3, we said that it has three distinctly different themes. Okay, the first theme is about nature of self. Okay, so that was covered from verse 11 onwards. Then the second theme is about Karma Yoga. We just finished Karma Yoga. The third theme is about the nature of this Sthita Prajna, who is a realized man or a woman, a realized person. Okay, so now we are entering to the third one. Okay, so here Sthita Prajna. So here you see that in the shloka there is a yada in line 1 and tada is hidden in line 2. Okay, it is stadochate. Is there Sthita Prajna stadochate? That is Sthita Prajna tada uchyate. Okay, so that means under what conditions someone is called as Sthita Prajna. That is what is being described. So when a condition, then something, a result. So when is yada, then is tada. Okay, yada, tada. Okay, so that means when a particular set of conditions are met, then he is called as Sthita Prajna. Okay, so Sthita Prajna tada uchyate. That's the last word, right? In the second line, what it is saying that under so and so conditions, under these following conditions, one can be considered as Sthita Prajna. Okay, what are those following conditions or the above conditions are listed in the earlier part of the shloka, where sarvan, kaman, okay, or kaman sarvan, manogatan, prajahati. Okay, sarvan means all kaman, desires, all desires, manogatan, prajahati. Prajahati means giving up. So manogatan means in the mind. So all the desires in the mind are given up. So when all desires in the mind, they are given up. So desires belong to mind. Desires do not belong to self. Desires are coming from Karana Sharira. They are coming from our vasanas. Okay? And we are not our Karana Sharira. We are different from our Karana Sharira. We are different from our vasanas. Hence, we are also different from our mind as well, right? So that means we have to give up what doesn't belong to us. Okay? Now, when all the desires in the mind are given up, okay, that is condition number one. So, in fact, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad gives what kind of desires we have. Okay, right. Now, the question about, like, one of the things is that we just talked, right? Why did Arjuna ask this question? Is to compare myself to a jnani, so that way I can get to jnani. So now we are saying that when all the desires are given up, so now what is the take home for me? Take home for me is I had to check myself in terms of how many desires I have. You cannot, nobody can, you cannot tell me how many desires I have because you don't know. Okay. So I had to do this introspection frequently to see if my desires are rising or they are going down. If they are rising, I am in a problem. If they are stagnant, I still have a problem. If they are going downward trends, that's a great thing. Okay, that is a great progress. And who can do the check? I can check for myself alone. I cannot check for you. You cannot check for me. Okay, so here again, a little bit of answer is also coming, right? Prabhasheta. Kim Prabhasheta. How does he speak? Means, how does he think? Meaning, what is he? The answer is, he is desireless. Jnani is desireless. So that answer is also being pointed out already. One of the questions. So here, giving up all the desires. Okay. So how are we giving up all the desires? By building Viveka, by Vairagya, all the sadhana, chatushtaya sampatti. From there, going through Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. This whole spiritual path we need. By doing that, we are able to give up a little bit. Now, what's the problem having a desire? Why are you insisting so much on giving up desires? There's a question. Okay? I love Bhagwan. I love my coffee. I love my Netflix. I love my uh, you know my money. I love my kids. I love everything in life. Everything I want all of those. I love my comforts. And I love Bhagwan too. But right? So Vedanta is very clear about it. What Vedanta says is desire is a clear proof of one's own incompleteness. Okay? Desires are not possible unless I have an identification with my individuality, my jivatva and its upadhis, meaning my desires are like, let us say, clothes. What does it mean? I am attached to my physical body. As a result, I want to decorate it with more and more clothes, colorful clothes, beautiful clothes, etc. Like that, certain things are based upon my physical body, certain things are based upon my likes and dislikes, my mind, etc. Right? So this is where the desires are indicating that I have identification with my jivatva, which is not true. Okay. As long as this uh, ignorance or ajnana is there, there will be sense of incompleteness. As a result, there will always be wish and wants. Okay, and why do we have those wish and wants? Because I want to increase the size of my limited individuality. Okay. Today, as a Jiva, I have a particular position in this country, okay, in this world. I can proudly say that I came to US with 2 suitcases at $200 and a job. Okay. Today, I am much better off than many people, but I'm not the best. Okay. There are so many people who are doing much better than me in terms of job, in terms of health, in terms of wealth. So I want to do better than them in health. I want to do better than them in health, wealth, okay, prestige, power, all of those. So then what am I trying to do? I'm trying to accumulate more and more. I want to rise in power more and more. So what it is showing is that my jivatva is this much, and I'm only trying to increase a little bit more, little bit more, little bit more. Okay. And no matter this finite thing, which is right now this much, even whether this becomes this big or that big or the whole world size big, a finite thing can never become infinite. Okay, a limited individuality can never ever become infinite. This is a basic core problem. As long as this problem is there is always an association with the idea that I am this body, okay? And a misunderstanding that I am this body. So now this kind of misassociation is not there in deep sleep, okay? Because at that time there are no desires or no individuality. However, unfortunately, state of my deep sleep is only temporary. I have to get rid of this feeling that I am this body through knowledge alone. So now Arjuna wants to get this practical knowledge of becoming Sthita Prajna. Okay. And this answer of Lord Krishna is also very straightforward. So this is where like he's saying that Prajahati Sarvan Kaman Manogatan Prajahati, when we give up all the desires. So this is only one piece. Okay. So it's already 8:30, so we will pause here and we'll continue the rest in the next session.
Venkati?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, about this of having desires. One of the practice that I like to do, because I do have desires, I recognize that, is like just like in prayer or yeah, at the beginning of the meditation, just like this sense of surrender and that thy will might be done and not my will. So at least like there is an intention to get like more yeah, to surrender to the Lord's will. But sometimes I get confused about that too. Like, okay, so but what is God's will, right? So that's another thing. But I feel like studying these texts and also yeah, Vedanta, the text that we had been studying, like it's very good for the mind to get more more clarity. So maybe that's the first step, right? Like just yeah, listening and then
Yeah, the knowledge is the first step, right? Knowledge that once I understand that this whole world is mithya, then the desire for that mithyatva or like, the illusory stuff is reduced. Okay. So, that is a number first and foremost is having that knowledge and then making that knowledge more firmer and firmer. Okay, because see, when if I try to say, for example, like let us say I like certain like clothing stores. Okay, so let's say I like clothes. If I avoid going to the clothing stores and I say like, okay, I got rid of desires, it is not getting rid of desire, right? Because what happens is that it is just a suppression of the desire for time being.
Mm.
Okay, so instead, even though whether the success rate is small, continue to think that I am not this body, okay? This body needs to, so for example, I'm talking with respect to clothes, right? Okay. However, this body needs to be clothed properly so that this body is given enough respect and proper respect and dues. So nice clothes are needed. Okay, well maintained clothes are needed. Those things are to be worn. Beyond that, nothing. Okay, they are there only to serve a particular purpose. Okay? Now, when you start affirming in this kind of a manner on a regular basis, not about clothes, but more about your true nature. So then this desire will start losing its hold on us. Okay, not only this desire, pretty much every desire starts losing their hold on us. Because what is happening is that you are you're coming to a realization, a mental realization that anything that we see in the world is illusion. Once we are getting to that one, right? However, I still need to be in this illusory world as a illusory person to attain moksha. Okay, so this is just a means to an end. Once you have that kind of a feeling, right? So then anything and everything to do with this one is more of a utility value only.
Yeah, and also like life experience, because sometimes we desire one thing and we think like, oh, this is going to make us happy, but when we have it, it's like maybe at the beginning we can get excitement, or but then it's just vain. So it's like, and then again another thing, another desire, and then okay, get satisfied or not. So it seems like at the end it's like it's not that fulfilling. It's not that fulfilling, and there is like, okay, there must be something else. Maybe that's why we are studying.
So in the basic Vedanta, Puja Gurudev gives this example. He talks about three things. He takes the example of a desert, okay? An Indian desert called Laddu. Are you familiar with that Laddu? Yes or no?
I'm not, but it's okay. It's an example.
If not Laddu, think about a donut, okay?
Yeah.
So, is there happiness in donut? Okay, he asked this basic question. From Chinmayandaji asked this question. Is there a happiness in donut? Now, the answer is that Atulji may say, yes, there's happiness in donut. I love donut. And Varshaji may say, I don't like donut. There's no happiness in donut. Okay. So what happened is that if there is a happiness in donut, it should give equal happiness to Atulji, Varshaji, you, Shardaji, all of us. But is it giving an equal happiness to all of us? No. Okay. For example, if you have young children love certain toys that we don't have any desire out of that, or we don't have any happiness out of it. Okay. But the toys that we love, children don't love. Right? Okay. So that means that if there is happiness in external object, it should give happiness to all of us. The second point he said, but which is not. Second point he says is that, now let us say you like donut. Okay? And you think that happiness is there in donut. You eat one donut, are you happy?
In the moment, yes.
Yes. And then you measure the amount of happiness. Now let us call it as 10 units of happiness. You gain 10 units of happiness. Now, second donut is given and you are asked to eat second donut right away. Okay? If you eat second donut, are you getting 10 units of happiness?
Maybe 5.
Maybe 5. Okay? How about third?
Mm,
Okay? Maybe
too
2.
much.
And maybe if it comes to fourth or fifth and like someone is holding a gun to your head and said you eat or otherwise, then it is -10, -20 maybe.
Right.
So what happened is that if there is a happiness in the external object, it should give identical amount of happiness with each subsequent one.
Mhm.
But we are not getting that same one, right? Your first dollar or your first paycheck, the amount of happiness it gave you is that paycheck giving you. No, right? So there's a law of diminishing returns in this external objects.
And that happened with many things.
Yes, with everything, not just many things, with everything. Then the third question he asks is, now, this object that you thought is giving happiness at a particular time may not give you happiness at a later time. Okay?
Mhm.
For example, you're joining a new job. You joined a new job on this is October, right? September 1st. Okay? If someone asked you, how was your job? As soon as you come back on day one, oh, people are so nice. Everybody is so nice. Everything is so good. Everything, right? Ask 10 days later. Is it the same answer? Same people, same company. Is it the same answer? No.
Mm.
Okay. After 1 month or 2 years later, you're saying like, I want to get out of this company and join somewhere else. I can't take this anymore. Right? So what happened is that the same object over a period of time, we are unable to take it. So with all these examples, what it is showing is that there is actually happiness not in outside world, but happiness is right within us.
Mm.
However, there's an important distinction. However, this external object, when it comes in contact with us, it is invoking the happiness in us. Okay. So if I understand this, is there a means to, if the happiness is inbuilt in me, is there a way to invoke that happiness without the presence of any object? See.
I believe it is.
Okay, so this is my phone. I love my phone. I think it gives me happiness, but it doesn't give me happiness. Okay, so then the happiness, if it is not in the phone, the answer is where is happiness? It should be within me. Okay, right now, me holding this phone is giving me happiness. Okay, instead, I should be able to get that happiness whether I hold the phone or I am empty-handed.
Mhm.
If I'm able to gain that happiness, right, then I am all set.
Mhm.
And Vedanta is
Free.
giving us a means to find that happiness right within us, so that way, like external world, presence or absence. Okay, good situation or bad situation has no impact on us.
Mm.
Okay, so for that, what we need to understand is we are Brahman and everything else is Mithya. Okay, so once we start getting onto that, right, the sway of likes and dislikes will go low on us. Okay, the power of likes, attachments, attachments and dislikes, etc., they all have lesser and lesser impact on us, and then slowly, automatically, even without trying, you would lose interest in what you think that you have serious desires today.
Become more detached. I was just thinking, like, when you were talking, like, when we think that the objects evoke happiness in us, that's where sometimes we get attachment to the objects or attachment to the person, to the relationship, because we believe that person make us happy, or
Yes.
that we make happy that person, but it's actually just evoking our inner happiness or sense of completeness.
Venkatji, can we conclude this and then you can continue this discussion?
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Yes.
पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om. Thank you so
Hari
much.
Om.
Sorry about